almost. They haven't done that. I think the only time they possibly tried that was the home game against Manchester City. They played an extra midfield player. I think Fred, Eriksen and Casemiro played in that game. I think today, looking at that and looking at games going forward, the manager will be thinking, I need to stop teams before I think about going toe-to-toe with these teams. And I think they'll have a better chance of getting... No, not getting embarrassed anyway. It's difficult to watch that and not be embarrassed with the 7-0 result.
Yeah, and it's the heaviest loss of Erik ten Hag's career as well. But on the other side, Liverpool were ruthless. They were clinical.
They were. They scored virtually every chance in that second half. There were one or two, don't get me wrong, one or two other occasions, but they were pretty ruthless with whatever they got given. To say, where'd you start? I mean, Gakpo was brilliant. Mo Salah breaking the record. But the overriding headline it's 7. I mean, you almost need to see it to believe it. It was stunning. And this is a Manchester United team that come into the game, you know, everybody raving about them. They're flying high. They're in all 4 competitions. Well, won 1 competition. They were still in 2 cup competitions. Maybe an outside chance of winning the Premier League. So they were coming here flying high, and the question marks really were by Liverpool's name. But that was just blown out of the water. And if there's ever a turning point for Liverpool, you know, to get back on track, then surely this is it.
Well, what an extraordinary weekend we've had so far. And in goals galore today as well. We didn't expect all of those goals, certainly, of course, in that fixture. 7 home wins on Saturday. City did their job, and then, of course, extraordinarily, with virtually the last kick of the game in the 97th minute with Reece Nelson, the leaders Arsenal did theirs. Victory for Villa, another crushing defeat for West Ham at Brighton. Finally, win for Graham Potter and Chelsea. 4th successive away defeat in all competitions for Spurs at Wolves. A big win for the bottom club Southampton at home to Leicester. Earlier on, Everton led twice at the City ground. 2 Brennan Johnson goals each time. Pegged them back, got Nottingham Forest a point as well. And we have to read this and say it to really believe it. In the Premier League at Anfield, between the 2 giants, Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0. The Premier League weekend is rounded off. The Monday night football is Fulham's trip across West London to face Brentford. So, as well as that staggering scoreline and all the rivalry, it's vitally important for Liverpool in the top 4 chase as well. They're now just 3 off it with a game in hand on Spurs. They have played 1 more than Newcastle. They're a point ahead of Eddie Howe's side. United stay in 3rd position, 4 clear of Spurs, having played a game less. At 2-1 and 1-0, Everton were out of the bottom 3 earlier, and Leeds were in it, but that equaliser for Nottingham Forest means Sean Dyche's side are still in the drop zone on goal difference, level on points now with Leeds, just 1 off West Ham and 2 off Leicester. Forest up to 26 points. We have to have a couple of minutes break to properly digest that astonishing, sensational scoreline from Anfield. So it's Liverpool who have the advantage at half-time at Anfield by that 1-0. Let's get straight to it and let's see it. Cody Gakpo took a while to get up and running, but his 3rd goal in the biggest fixture.
Yeah, and it was a very good goal from his point of view. He's the original one that makes the run out wide. Doesn't come to him initially, but then he makes a second run inside, cuts inside on that right foot, and uses the defender, Martinez, to bend it round. It's a beautiful goal. Really good individual goal from Gakpo.
Yeah, it's a lovely finish, a good bit of movement. It's a good play by Liverpool, really. And look, there's things we can pick out of it. Of course, we can from United's point of view, but I'm sure from Gakpo and Liverpool's point of view, it's a really good goal.
Yeah, and Gakpo's 3 goals in 4 league starts now. Right, United set up an organisation in this then, chaps.
Well, first question, Scholesy. Dallo, what's he doing there?
I have no idea. They are a little bit all over the place here. You see Casemiro over there, Michael on the left-hand side. Vigos is virtually playing as a central midfielder holding player there. You'd expect Anthony to be into this space as well, just cutting the gap out there where it eventually comes from, but it doesn't happen.
The interesting thing, Steve, is you've got a couple of players and you've got a massive space right across here, but you've got 2 players that are free. And actually you can see players from Manchester United, sorry, players from Liverpool, i.e. Nunez, Robertson, both pointing, saying, give the ball to Gakpo. He's on his own. Let's forward it a little bit, because eventually it doesn't go to Gakpo. It goes to Robertson, but there's two of them free because Dalot isn't marking any of them. And then when the ball goes there, it all starts to unravel. This is a brilliant run, an absolutely brilliant run from Gakpo. Nunez is in a central area, and he makes this run out wide. And when we just forward it a little bit further, Scholesy, it's Fred that has to vacate the central area to track the run. No problem there. As things stand, that's not a bad position now of Manchester United.
Yeah, not a bad position at all. It all came from bad position in the first place, but now Fred's ended up having to look after Gakpo in this left-hand side where he is, and he gets done by the movement. He's obviously not a full-back. He looks out if you play it on Michael. I think he does have a little look out at him, and that's when Gakpo goes inside. Great way to pass from Robertson. I expect Varane as well. Would you expect him to do a little bit better, Michael?
Yeah, you could. And let's just confirm, in terms of the offside, because we were thinking, is Luke Shaw, is he the one that's playing him offside? Onside, but he's not. You can quite clearly see that he's onside, even with Varane. And then once he cuts inside, Scholesy, we're just questioning the role of Martinez here. Yeah. Let's just point him out. This is Martinez here. And what we're thinking, and what you mentioned straight away, is does he run across the line of vision for David De Gea?
I certainly don't think it helps De Gea. I don't think he's quite in line at the point it's kicked. But David can also think now that the ball might hit him. But when he does hit it, he has got...
Is the players... Even if he can... This is where he should be, in line. Even if he comes along this... Wherever he is along this line, he's got to stay on that line. He can't be dropping deep and blocking the goalkeeper's view. And as you see, when the ball's actually played, he's a lot deeper than everybody else and arguably in this line of sight, and that's what causes the goal.
He needs to trust his goalkeeper, Steve. This is a top goalkeeper you're talking about. Do not get in his way. If anybody gets in the goalkeeper's way, it's criminal.
OK, well, all the headlines ahead of this game was about one Dutchman, Erik ten Hag.
تفاصيل صادمة: اتهام حكيمي بالاغتصاب والتحقيق معه. كشفت تقارير إعلامية فرنسية يوم الاثنين أن السلطات الفرنسية تحقق مع الدولي المغربي أشرف حكيمي الظهير الأيمن لباريس سان جيرمان بعد أن زعمت شابة أنها تعرضت لاغتصاب من قبل اللاعب نهاية الأسبوع الماضي. ووفقا للتقرير الذي نشرته لو باريزيان عبر موقعها الإلكتروني، فإن شابة ذهبت إلى مركز الشرطة يوم الأحد تقول إنها تعرضت للاغتصاب من قبل اللاعب باريس سان جيرمان. وأضافت الصحيفة أشارت الضحية إلى أنها لا ترغب في تقديم شكوى بل الكشف عن اغتصابها من قبل حكيم. وتولى مكتب المدعي العام القضية، ويعمل المحققون على الملف الذي تم تجميعه على أساس أقوال المدعية. وقالت لو باريزيان إن حكيمي تعرف على الشابة عبر تطبيق التواصل الاجتماعي انستغرام في 16 يناير الماضي. ويوم السبت الموافق 25 فبراير ذهبت الشابة إلى منزل اللاعب في الليل على متن سيارة أوبر التي طلبها لها حكيمي. وواصل التقرير: خرجت الأمور عن السيطرة في منزل حكيمي صاحب 24 عاما. حسب كلمات الشابة، تزعم أنه بدأت بتجريدها من ملابسها واعتدى عليها قبل أن تركله بقوة وتهرب من المنزل. صدق أو لا تصدق أنها هربت من الظهير الأسرع في العالم.